What if I told you you could get a Seiko powered field watch for under $45 US that is actually worth owning? Hello, you're watching James. My name's James, you're watching me, and I am talking about watches, and I'm talking about one of the more affordable watches that I've ever featured on this channel. And I love affordable watches, but when I say affordable, this is really affordable because it's under $50 US. And for under $50 US, you're getting a good looking watch powered by a Seiko VH31 movement. And do I need to actually even say anything more? That's really affordable, and it's a good looking watch, and it's powered by a Seiko movement. It has 100 meters of water resistance. There's even a couple of different variations available. This one's a 36 millimeter, but there's even a 38 millimeter for people who want a slightly bigger watch. This one comes on that NATO strap, as you can see, which for me is not my favorite style of strap, but the quality is okay. And for under $50 US, I'm not really expecting much from the strap, but this one is certainly usable. I'd probably swap this one out to a different strap, but that's just my own personal tastes. Now, you probably would have seen that sponsored icon pop up. That is because Militado sent this one out to the channel free of charge, which I guess I didn't need this watch for free. It is only $45 US. However, I just wanted to see what the quality of this one was because I didn't actually expect it to be great. I thought, well, this is one of those Chinese brand watches that is producing sort of field watches, which is a fairly standard sort of look. It can't really be that great, can it? But hey, let me get some hands-on with it, let me get my experience with it, and then let me share my thoughts with you about this watch. And my thoughts are actually rather positive. And it's rather positive because I like the style. Partly it is the style, I like this style of watch. And if I'm going to buy a watch in this style, the more affordable the better, because it doesn't need to be an expensive watch. But what surprised me is actually how well made this watch is. This does not feel like a sub $50 US watch when you hold it. It feels like a watch that is actually considerably more expensive. Now, part of the reason why it is a little bit cheaper is because it has that Seiko VH31 movement, which I actually think is actually a really good movement choice when it comes to these super affordable watches, because it looks like a mechanical watch, but it has the reliability of a Seiko movement. And I think it's just the right choice for these particular watches. But this one also has 100 meters of water resistance. As I mentioned, I think this one is a 36 millimeter, but it also comes as a slightly bigger version at 38 millimeters. It does have a mineral crystal, and it has a bead blasted finish to the case, which I think is actually the perfect choice for this style of watch, but also affordable watches. Because when you find some affordable watches that are polished or brushed, you may find that the polishing or the brushing is not quite up to standard, and it makes it feel like a cheap watch. However, bead blasted finishes forgive a little bit. They allow a watch to sort of look much better than they are at a price range. So I think it was a really good choice for this particular watch. But let's look a little bit deeper at the dial of this watch. And there's nothing particularly unexpected from the style of watch. What is unexpected though is how well executed it is at this price range, because you'll see it is a standard sort of black dial, a matte finish, white printing on there, all the numbers and the minute track, so that faux Tina hour markers, those upside down triangles, nice bright hands giving you some really good legibility, and there is a little bit of lume as well. And at sub $50, I don't think you can expect great lume, but I think it's actually perfectly usable and decent at this sort of price category. So guys, I just wanted to share with you this one relatively quickly because it is a relatively simple watch, but it is a watch that I think just represents such good value. Now, you don't always have to buy a watch because it is good value. It doesn't matter how good value a watch is. If you're not going to wear it, what is the point of owning it? But I think this style of watch, this field watch, is always a nice one to have in the collection. For me personally, I always like the idea of having a field watch, but I don't tend to then wear them that often, which is why for me, it makes much more sense having a field watch in the collection that is more affordable. Having too much money tied up in a field watch that I don't wear a lot doesn't make sense. And that's where I think this watch might fit well in my collection. Thanks for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it. Maybe check a couple of my other videos out next.